What's up, everybody? So today we're going to go over an exercise called the gorilla row. Gorilla row is one of those exercises that you're going to get the most bang for your buck out of. So what I mean by that is it's going to engage so many more muscles than isolating just one. It's really going to force you to brace your core, improve your posture, increase your mobility, increase your heart rate, which in turn is going to increase your metabolism, get a little fat burning, not to mention the strength aspect of this. So what you're going to need is 2 kettlebells that weigh the same. If you don't have access to kettlebells, then dumbbells, 2 matching dumbbells work as well. And then the other part is if you don't have 2 of them that match, just use 1 and I'll show you how you can do that. I prefer to use kettlebells, and the reason being the way that's set up, the handle's up here. That way, once you get into your position, you don't have to go as low and it shouldn't put as much pressure on your lower back. Now you can still do it with dumbbells, but just be a little more aware of that slight risk injury when you're doing them. All right, so let me show you just a basic demo, and I'll kind of talk through it and show you what we're engaging in, the basic benefit of why we do certain parts of the exercise. All right, so boom. Let me move back a little bit so you can see me here. All right, stance, hinge, here. All right, so now you've seen it. Now let me break it down. So you want to set up in roughly a squat stance. So for those of you not familiar with it, it's shoulder width, maybe slightly wider. The toes are slightly pointed out. That way those knees get pushed over the toes and they get pushed nice and wide. Open up the hips and give you more room to do that actual row, okay? So let me give you the side view because this is a hinge, not a squat. You should feel tension in the hamstrings, in the glutes, not in the quads, not in the knees, okay? So your weight balance should be heels and balls of your feet, no toes. Twinkle those toes, okay? So hips go back, knees go wide. Notice I have nice flat back. I'm not rounding because this is a posture exercise, okay? So I'm in this set position. So I have tension here in the hamstrings and glutes. 2 huge muscles that work in your posterior chain, often get tight when you sit, and lack of mobility. So already we're knocking 2 of those big muscle groups out of the park, all right? These kettlebells are right over your forefoot. So right about where you tie your laces, you want to make sure you're not over your toes and the weight's out front. That's going to cause lower back issues. You want to be right here, all right? Power stance. Feel nice and strong here. You're going to go rowing 1 at a time, all right? So as you row, that's going to force your lats, these big back muscles to work, along with your biceps that's also involved in a pull motion. Now we got even more muscles involved. Not to mention we're rowing 1 at a time, so you're bracing, you're tightening your core to brace your spine. So now we're using the entire trunk area in order to row. Now you're probably also wondering, why am I putting these all the way down to the ground, not just kind of rowing like this? Okay, so similar to a deadlift, pulling from a dead stop on the ground actually makes that weight feel a little bit heavier because you have to beat that inertia, okay? So now not only are you pulling against gravity, but you're pulling against that moment of inertia. So now you have to generate that much more force and recruit that much more muscle mass and muscle fibers to even get that kettlebell started from a dead stop on the ground. So there is no bouncing motion, okay? The other thing you notice when I'm down here, right, is I'm not rotating up, okay? That's the core being engaged. And when you row, you want to row into the hip, okay? You don't want to shrug it up and row up here, up into the armpit, all right? So if you don't have 2 kettlebells, let me give you the frontal view. Just line 1 up in front, all right? Hinge back, as you can see with this frontal position where my knees are, they get pushed wide, they don't cave in, okay? Keep 1 arm here, closed fist, that's gonna brace your spine, and just row 1 at a time, okay? Give it a 1 Mississippi on the ground, and then row. All right, so do 12 here, and then 12 here. All right, so that's the gorilla row. Give it a try, add it into your next back day or just total body day because it's gonna hit a little bit of everything. And let me know what you think, guys, all right?